All right, I don't know if anybody really cares, but I'm going to just kind of go through why we haven't been posting anything lately. It seems like a lot of YouTube guys like to complain about, YouTube sucking and all that. But anyway, this is just nothing to do with anything other than the fact that just been real busy and it's hard to make videos. So there's supposed to be a pulley on here. Should look something like that. Generally there's like a radiator in this area with some shrouds and then some hoods. So we got radiator, shrouds, crank thing. Yeah. So anyway, quite a few years ago, this was kind of rattling around and making a lot of noise. So we had a neighbor who was kind of handy. He actually, I'm not sure what he did. I think he welded this up or made a new inside and then welded it in, because you can see there's a weld all the way around this. So it's probably gone, I'm going to say, let's just say 5 years. Everything was fine. You can kind of see here where the weld was on there. And then the other day we were driving from soccer practice to baseball practice, and I hear a ding-ling, ding-ling, ling, 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 ling. So pull over, and sure enough, the piece that was still on here was spinning around, and this was just sitting there, and then the fan wasn't turning. So I got home quick because the fan wasn't turning, and this one's been modified. This is, if anybody hasn't, this is a Model T. This one's been modified. It has this water pump, which isn't original, which is helpful if you're in a parade and you're not moving a whole lot. But normally, the water would just thermal siphon, and then the car moving would be probably enough to cool it. But I think because the pulley wasn't turning, we weren't moving any water, and I think this is a restriction in the system. So it probably, anyway, it got really hot. It wasn't hot enough to really hurt anything because I was not that far from home. But anyway, so my dad ended up making, well, check out these, huh? Check out those socks. Pretty nice, huh? You guys like those? Pretty nice. All right, he made this tool right here. So what we ended up doing was, when it was on, I'll show it up here, be a little more descriptive. So this was on like this. And we were going to do this without pulling the radiator off, which was really preferred. So this thing went on here. These holes, we ended up just putting bolts in loosely to fit in the holes that are in this pulley. And then we came through the hole, took the crank out, and came through this hole and went into this piece, which, let me take this away. So there's a nut on the back side of that he welded on. So what that would do is push on that. See, it's got that end of it kind of tapered to a point, and then it goes into the crank. We might have boogered that up a little bit. But anyway, that ended up pulling this piece a good section of the way off, but I was hoping it was going to move this piece with it, the hub that was on there. Yeah, it didn't. It just pulled it off. So then I came out here, and you can see I was going at this with a, I don't know, metal eating beaver. Anyway, this was fixed on the shaft pretty tight. So I took a cold chisel, and you can see I kind of chiseled away at it. And eventually it started moving a little bit, and then I was able to get it off. So I've got a new one ordered. I just checked the tracking from the U.S. Postal Service. Should be here on Friday before 8 o'clock. So maybe if I get some time, I'll show that, putting that back on, and then putting all the other parts back on. But really, we're just trying to get that up and going. So along with that, I'll take you over to the next project. So now, don't mind the huge piles of dirt and toys everywhere, but so this ATV is another one that we just picked up, and we were looking at, there's a bushing in the steering shaft. This would have made a really great video. I don't think you're gonna be able to see any of it if I, no, pretty dark. So there's a bushing that kind of tightens up the steering shaft that was missing. Ordered a new one of those. Ordered the wrong belt, and then just ended up putting the old belt back on. It's a 2-stroke 90cc Sportsman, Polaris Sportsman, and It's automatic transmission, but it revs up kind of high when you're trying to engage. I thought the belt would help, so I bought a new belt. But I bought this is a 2006, and I bought a 2007 belt, which apparently is not right. So anyway, put the old belt back on, and the kids had it out tonight. Seems to be working fine. Yeah, it's back up and running. So that was another. This project's actually back going, so this is back running right now, for the time being. But in order to get the belt off, this is the belt. This is the come on, focus. This is the cover for the belt cover. So you pull this off, which you can't get off without taking the Kickstarter off. You pull this, you can get this out, and then there's a huge aluminum cover back there, which you got to pull the whole front cowl off. The back cowl you got to loosen up because this kind of goes behind here, a pretty good section, and you got to like bend this stuff, thinking you're gonna break it and do all sorts of fun stuff. So anyway, this we got this all back together now with the old belt back in there. Had to buy a new gasket. There's all sorts of crap that we had to take care of while we're doing that. But anyway, it's back up and running. So those are the two big ones. Now that we have two four-wheelers, this one here is probably going to sit. I had some blocks of wood screwed to these earlier so that the littlest schmuck could handle it. But once he went around the garage, and I didn't know if he was going to hit the garage or what he was going to do, I thought probably best to just let him, get a little bit older before we have him on a powered device. So anyway, those are the projects. We'll hopefully do more cool stuff later. I just kind of giving an update, which I'm sure none of you really necessarily care about. But anyway, there they are. Have fun.